Alright, hello and welcome to my masterclass on the basics of spreadsheets. As you can see, I've whipped up a little example on here. We're going to treat this as like a scenario that you are gathering data for the types of ice cream that people want for whatever reason. Very basic spreadsheet, not very pretty, nothing very nice about it. So we're going to start by going over what the parts of a spreadsheet are. So as you can see, it's made up of these little rectangles. Now a rectangle is called a cell. Now that's a row, that's a column. Is made up of an infinite amount of cells. Now each cell is identified by its column and its row. So this cell that I'm in right now would be C5, and as you can see it says that up there. This right here is going to be very important later on. This is your formula bar. It's usually where you're going to be typing up your formulas when you're using them. Let's start with just your basics, like making your spreadsheet look nice. So you can see here, this is my title for my spreadsheet. What we're going to want to do first is maybe enlarge that, and that's easy enough. It's just like in a Word, you have your fonts there and things. And your colors. You have your fills up here, so you can change the color of your cell as well if you are in the mood to do that. But the thing that I don't like here is that this ice cream flavors title goes over the other cells. Now the way to come at that is you can merge cells. So if we click merge and center here, that's going to combine these cells. Now it's still going to be an A1 because that's the first one that's in the row here, but it's going to combine all those cells and they are now all one really nice big cell, which is good for your titles, or if you have little subtotals or things that you need to block out in your spreadsheets. Another thing we don't like about the spreadsheet is, as you can see here, bits of these little labels are cut off. Now you could just manually go in here and adjust the width, so like that, but there's a really much more easy and quick way to do this, which is if you go up here where this little triangle is and double click that or click that, and then so that highlights your entire screen. You go up here again and you double click, and that will automatically adjust all of your cells to the length of them, and you just click out with that and that's fine. And I'm going to adjust this a little bit because I think that's quite, there you go. Now here we've got these also little titles of things that that we're going to be working on when I show you some more basic formulas in just a sec. But what I don't like, I feel like they're really long cells, and I'd like them actually to kind of come down a little bit and be just a little bit wider. So you can do is you can go into wrap text here and just click that, and as you can see that's going to start putting them into multiple rows so it looks just a bit nicer. And you can also highlight this and just do this automatically, and it'll start doing it for you like that. If you want to kind of make these cells a bit more distinctive, you can come up here and you can choose what borders you want to put in it. So say I want to put a border on over that. There you go, easy enough. This one is maybe not necessary, so just come back. I just do no borders, and there you go. Now let's get into our basic functions. These are the 5 functions that you're gonna really are the basis of everything that else you're gonna learn in this mini crash course. The thing you need to know about a function is it always starts with an equal sign. You're always going to have an equal sign at the beginning. Think of it almost as if you're reversing your sums. Now, actually, funnily enough, speaking of sums, that's the function we're going to start with. It's not the most basic function ever, but it is pretty basic. It's pretty useful. It's going to be very important down the road. So your sum function basically acts as a calculator. It will add up all the cells in a range. So you're going to put in equals sum because that's the beginning of your formula. Now sum's easy enough to just type in the little box because it's short enough. If you had a longer formula, I would suggest doing it in the little box up here. And then you're going to open your brackets. Whenever you're doing a function like this, you're always going to want to open your brackets. And then you're going to come over here and you're just going to select your cells that you want to add, and you can add or not, you can choose what range there is. You can also do the little trick where you say select just those three and you wanted to select these three down here but not this one. If you press and hold Control, you can select another range and it will also it will select those as well. So I want to just add up the total number of people who have chosen ice cream flavors entirely. So I'm just going to go down this row and I'm going to select all of them, close my bracket, press enter, and there we go. There's 29 children who selected an ice cream flavor. Now say I want only the ones who selected ice cream with chocolate for whatever reason. The way I would do that is I would just simply add the cells. Now, so you've got your chocolate and you've got mint choc chip, but I don't think there's any other ones. So you're just going to press your cell, just a regular plus sign, and your mint choc chip, and then press enter, and there you go. That's all the added numbers there. You can also just input the numbers manually, or if you would like, you can just you can add a cell with a number. You can also add infinite amounts of plus signs, but it's much easier to use the ones in your cell there, especially since if your information changes down the line, you don't have to go back and adjust your formula. So say I have this formula here, and you've got the B3 and B4 in there, but suddenly there's another child that came and wanted mint chocolate chip ice cream. We just adjust that, and it will adjust our numbers automatically for us. So very useful. I would suggest doing that. I will say you can absolutely replicate formulas just by pressing that there, and it will. Now this is just selecting the current one and the one under it because it's copying the behavior of this one. However, if you wanted to, so that's just highlighting and pressing delete there, just so you're not confused. If you wanted to keep this like one, say you wanted to add chocolate and then all the other numbers, you wanted to see what they're afterwards. The way you do that is just pressing enter, and you put in your chocolate, and then you press F4, and that will add these little dollar signs, and that means it's now an absolute reference. So if I put in mint chocolate, oops, my bad, I forgot to put the rest of the formula in, like that, and then add mint chocolate chip, and we enter that adds up our numbers. But then I replicate that down the line just by double clicking there, or you can also click and drag. Here, I'll show you that as well. You can just drag that down. It will basically keep, if you can see, it's still B3 all the way down. It's still B3 all the way down. It's just changing the other number there. Okay, so what about the ones that just want ice cream? They don't want sorbet. Now for that, you're going to probably want to use your sum, just like here. And if you want, you can actually put in your equal sign, click on that cell because you've already got the total number there, and then you're going to take away. Now we're only taking away two numbers. The way that I would do this is if you have more than, especially with a sum, if you have more than three numbers, you're gonna want to do a sum first because it just makes it easier for everyone. But we're taking away the mango sorbet, and then we're adding another little minus sign there, and we're going to take away the lemon sorbet. There's enter. There, and that's just the ones that want ice cream. What about the number of scoops? So say there's 2 scoops per person. So what we're going to do is we're going to open up our little equal sign. We are going to press our little sum here, because that's a total number, and say there's 2 scoops, so we're going to divide that, multiply that number by 2. So that's your little asterisk, and that basically signifies multiplication. Now you can also multiply by a cell. Absolutely, if you wanted to multiply that by, like, say this, you can absolutely do that. That doesn't change. However, we're going to just multiply it by 2. Perfect, 60. And now what about number of tubs? So say for example, there was, okay, now this is where my analogy failed a little bit, but say for example with the number of scoops, there was 10 scoops in a tub, completely hypothetically. What will you do there? Open your little equal sign to indicate that you're going to do a formula. You're going to press your scoops because that's what you need, and then you're going to divide, and by that you put in the little backslash, and I'm going to put 10 in. Now I'll just be right back, and I'll have cleaned up the spreadsheet to make it look actually nice, and we'll go over our kind of little notes. Okay, here we are back, and we are just going to go over the things that we went through in this video. So we learned how to format spreadsheets. It's very easy, very intuitive. We may go into some more, I guess not advanced, but more complicated things in the future. When we do conditional formatting, we learned the sum function and how it works. We learned adding, subtracting, multiplying, and dividing. And that should be us for today. So hope that was clear enough. If you have any questions, let me know.